kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The views expressed on the following broadcasts do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT, Take 12 Radio, or our affiliates. The opinions on this show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice and are those of the host, co-host, and guest. Take 12 Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting are not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
When the static of life fills your brain and the world seems a little too insane, just twist that dial, don't hesitate. There's a haven where good vibes await. Tune in and Take 12 for some joy and cheer. It's the sound of hope coming in crystal clear. Recovery talk, the music so grand, a beacon of light, a helping hand.
Well, greetings one and all, and welcome to another fine episode of the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. I am your host, recovered alcoholic, the Monty Man, and on the Lazy Susan over there is my guest co-host.
I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook.
Yeah, there's Jack McCann.
Howdy,
and
y'all.
Joining us is Tommy Buddha Dudley. We're going to talk about who this character is in just a minute.
Alrighty.
Oh, my goodness sakes. Of course, the Make-Believe Take 12 Recovery Radio Orchestra.
When the shadows of doubt,
We're going to be giving away some prizes
and you're
as
searching
well.
for a sign
Really?
to find.
Indeedy.
What swag are we giving away?
Some good stuff, brother. Some good stuff. All right, here we go. You're in for a heck of a ride.
The sound of hope coming in crystal clear. Recovery talk, the music so grand, a beacon of light, a helping hand.
That is right, my friends. Welcome to the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. If you're watching on our video feed, there is our special guest this week. There's Tommy Buddha Dudley. Wave to the folks there, Tommy. Wave.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. See? You're gonna meet this character and learn all about him here in just a second. But listen, you ever feel stuck in your recovery? Jack, you ever feel stuck like, I'm just kind of bored, it's the same old thing?
Yes.
You're at a meeting and you're going, no, not that guy again, please, God, no.
Take me out of this.
Right. You're just like, oh man, maybe you're going to too many meetings, one guy said. Well, if you're going to 3 a day and you've been sober for 26 years,
You're missing the point there.
you may want to check out getting plugged into the rest of the world. But listen, if you're feeling stuck in your recovery, I got a great book for you. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's in my library within hand's reach at all times by our good friend and Take 12 Recovery Radio contributor, Dr. Alan Berger. It's entitled 12 Essential Insights for Emotional Sobriety, Getting Your Recovery Unstuck. Absolutely a must, because for so many of us, we were introduced to the rooms of the 12-steppers. Now what happens, right? And maybe you've gone through the 12 steps, had a spiritual awakening as a result of those steps, and you're bebopping along life, and you just feel stuck. May I suggest that you're not stuck, you stopped. Sometimes you need to get a little restart. This is a great book, so please check it out. You want an autographed copy? Go to abphd.com, and Dr. Berger will send you an autographed copy. All right, there you go. Well, listen, inducted into the New York Blues Hall of Fame in 2015, and a member of the Hudson Valley Blues Society, my guest this week says music is the highest form of communication. It is a common denominator to us all, and it speaks to every generation. Tommy Buddha Dudley, known by many as the Buddha of Blues or the Blues Buddha, has many different types of projects going on. He works with people of all ages who are trying to raise up and live a complete life by overcoming life's challenges. And boy, do we know life has them. On his journey, Tommy has been introduced to youth clubs, senior centers, corporations, nonprofits, and of course, his own live audience. He is very involved with a project going on right now that we're going to be talking about and featuring a song from. We're going to be talking about all that. But for now, Tommy, buddy, welcome back to Take 12 Recovery Radio. It's been a few years.
It's been a long time. I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember how long ago, but it's a while.
So you and I met at the 12-Step Music Fest in Key West.
Yep.
In the Florida Keys. I still have a soundbite that you made for me that said, "This is a Blues Buddha, and you're listening to Take 12 Recovery Radio." Still use that.
Cool.
But I remember attending that. That was Dawn Wilder and her group that put that on. And folks like Self-Esteem, Tony Morosi and Self-Esteem, Mark Lundholm, recovery comedian, the guy from Three Dog Night. I'm losing my...
Chuck Negron.
Chuck Negron was there. Just a whole bunch of people. And what an incredible experience to experience music and concerts and dancing and getting your feet moving sober, clean, right? For many people, when the first time they go to these things, it's like having a spiritual awakening all its own. True?
Absolutely. It's insane. We had a ball down there. I wish that had continued. It was a lot of fun. I'm trying to recreate something up here, but it's not at that level. But we're calling it Rock in Recovery, and it's got to be musicians in recovery that want to have shows for other people in recovery. And we've been working on that for a couple of months in Jersey with some guys. So hopefully that'll be soon.
Well, listen, let me know. Keep in touch with me, and we'll help promote that any way that we can for you.
Sure.
Speaking of promoting, we want to give away some prizes during this show. So we've got 3 songs that we're featuring today. And during the songs, when the songs are playing, the first and third email, and if you're watching on the video feed, the email address is up right now, take12radio@comcast.net. That's TAKE, the number 12, radio@comcast.net. Jack, you cannot play.
Why not?
He already sent the email.
I did.
Yeah, guy. Oh, yeah, guy. There's Jack. Wait, Jack.
Hi, everybody. How you doing this morning?
But we're going to be giving, so the first and third email, and all you got to do is say, "I want Tommy's music." And so what you need to do, you got to remember to send me your contact information, because we won't have any idea where to email it or mail it to. And Tommy's going to send you some of his music. So during each song, the first and third email. And then I've got some goodies I want to send you also. You're going to receive Basic Prayer and Simple Meditation, a recovering alcoholic talks about beginning spirituality by Mike D. It's a short read. Look how skinny that is. That is a short read. And it's got an endorsement on the back by moi. And you're going to love this book. Absolutely the best piece of literature I've ever read on the topic of prayer and meditation, keeping it really, really simple, really good. You're also going to receive the DVD. There's let me see, 28 one-hour episodes of Walking Through the Big Book with myself and Chris S. And you can also get this series by going to take12radio.com and clicking on the Recovery Workshops link if you want to get the free MP3 downloads. But this is a DVD that you can play on your DVD player or your computer. And so you're going to get that as well. There you go. So remember, while the songs are playing, send in your email. The first and third are going to be getting these prizes, and we'll remind you of that. Tommy, so you're looking pretty healthy, buddy. It wasn't always like that, though, right? What was going on? What was going on before? Oh, wait a minute! I got to do something in honor of you. Hold on. Dun,
There you go. I should
like that.
I got about 40 hats right there. That's pretty sharp.
I know.
I got about 40 hats here. I can, by the end of the day, I can have them all on. That's sharp. I like that hat. I like it. I like the color.
Yeah.
It's a short brim. Yeah.
But I can't get it. I can't do the.
Well, why don't you put the earphones on now and
That's
then
my
put them
thing.
up
I
of it?
flip it.
No,
Yeah.
put the earphones on
You
first.
flip it onto your head.
Earphones on first.
Flip it.
No, put the earphones on first, and then that on top of the earphones.
They won't fit.
They
I
won't.
like the top. It's black on the top too. That's pretty. I like that, man. I love that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's cool. The thing is, it doesn't fit snug.
Need some Velcro
Yeah, some Velcro might work. Yeah,
or
put
sideways.
it on the head.
Sideways.
Yeah.
So you're asking me about the past.
Yeah. So what was going on, man? What were you? How were you misbehaving, young man?
Well, find a way, and I'll tell you.
Right.
I not to get too. I don't like to get too deep in my story, but I will tell you this: I got 32 years in the program now. I've got 30 years off of cigarettes. I've got 5 years lost weight. Because that's the one that'll kill you.
Oh man, you dropped a lot of weight.
Yeah, I lost 70 pounds. I'm now Blues Gandhi instead of Buddha, and
That's good.
it's the bottom line is at the end of my addiction, it took me places I should have never went and did things I never should have done. I ended up homeless. I ended up in jail. I ended up in institutions, and my drug of choice is, what do you got? And can I have yours?
Yeah.
And, there was really no choice in the matter anymore. One of the things I like to talk about in my journey now is I've recognized that I picked up drugs when I was about 10 or 11 years old. Drinking and smoking cigarettes and throwing up. That's how it was, in that order. And that's how I used my whole life. I just would use to an extreme. And it ended up, I'd like to say I lost things, but I gave most of my things away. I didn't really have much to lose at the end. I found, like I said, you don't understand what it is to have nothing till you have nothing. And that's exactly where I was at the end of my addiction. I had nothing. I had no family in my life. I had no friends in my life. I had no job in my life. And, the last run I was on was really pitiful. It was a bad run. And then, I fell so hard in my ass, my ears popped open. And I ended up going to a meeting, which I had done for years. I'd gone in and out. And then I just, decided to go to this rehab. Told them I was on alcohol, but I was on methadone, heroin, smoking crack, drinking blackberry brandy, taking Valiums, whatever was available.
But you only told him it was booze, right? Just like the cop that says, "You've been drinking today?" "Yeah, I had one."
One jug. It's like drinking was my first drug and it was my last drug. And it was the drug that went through everything. Like everything that I did, I had to have a drink with. When I came in, that was the thing that kept me out of here, because I didn't, I'm not an alcoholic, and I went to a rehab, and this woman said, "You're not addict and alcoholic." I said, "No, I'm an addict." She goes, "An alcoholic?" I said, "No, I'm an addict." And she said, "I gotta go." I said, "What's your problem?" I said, "What's your problem?" She goes, "No, what's your problem?" Wow. I'm not gonna spend 30 days trying to convince you have a problem with all your substances. I'm not gonna do it. And she hung up on me. And I said, whoa. And then I realized that if I had a problem with it, it was bothering me, then I may have a problem.
Yeah.
And that's when I quit everything.
Yeah.
And that was in March of '93.
So were you doing gigs and playing back then?
Well, that's another story, and that is a story in itself. I've always been in music. I sang and played my whole life, but alcohol and drugs stole that from me at a very young age because of my insecurities. There's a couple of things that I like to focus on, and I think we talked about it the last time I was with you. The exact nature of this disease is not drugs and alcohol. The exact nature of this disease is low self-esteem, insecurities, depression, anxiety. I was always a heavy kid. I had learning disabilities. So every time I tried to do something, I just didn't have the esteem to do it. And so, people wanted me to sing, but I never really did. I would, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
be serious,
Yeah.
but it was always in my life. I'm a singer my whole life. And recovery gave it to me full time and gave it back to me the way I should have had it when I was a kid. And I tell this story all the time, and I tell it to kids when I'm working with them. I remember the first time, I used to sing in the park. We used to get some bottle of wine or something. We'd sing, well, you got to be in a band. And I went to this band, and I went to sing, and I froze. And I was like, this, and like and that's anytime I got used anytime I would sing after that, I would have to use. I couldn't do it without something.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's a totally different story now.
Jack, can you sing?
No.
Come on, Jack, give us a little tune.
No.
He's got good tone. Everybody can sing. Not so good, everybody, but everybody can sing.
I did try it in 1984 in Germany with a bunch of fellows I was stuck in bass with, and it was an old Rolls Royce song called "I Want to Get Close to You," and they said, "Dang, something else. White boy can sing."
Yeah, so that's, everybody tells us that, right? Oh, you ought to be in a band, or you ought to be a writer, or everybody. You know what I get? When are you going to write a book? And I'm like, it's at the point now we're talking about CDs and flash drives and things, right? Does anybody even buy a book anymore? I mean,
well, they do.
Huh?
They do.
They do.
Books are big.
Yeah.
I'm writing one now. I've been writing it for a while.
Well, I think they're coming back because they kind of faded for a while, but now that you can self-publish, right? It's a cool deal. Okay, so you were not doing too well, and so you came back into the rooms, but something was different this time, right?
Yeah, the difference was that, like, I was in a facility, and a woman brought the message in, and I had heard the message before. It wasn't the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
But like I said, the only difference was my ears were open. And she carried the message, and it was an H&I presentation, hospitals and institutions in NA, that's what they call it.
Uh-huh.
And she came in, and I said, well, she shared, and I said, what did you do? What do you do to stay clean? And she goes, I don't pick up, I make a meeting, and I talk about how I feel. And I said, and what else? And she goes, that's it. I said, that's it? I said, I could do that. And that was the first time I had an I could do that moment.
Oh, wow.
Like, I could do that. So I went to a meeting when I left, and I raised my hand. No, actually, I didn't raise my hand. They picked me. And the whole room, I'm sharing, the dog died, car broke down, and everybody's just saying, don't use, just don't use.
Yeah, no matter what, yeah.
No matter what, don't use. Keep coming back, And when I was done, they passed around a book with a bunch of numbers. And it was like 12 or 15 numbers. And some guy came up to me and he said, my name is, whatever. I can't remember his name right now. And he said, this is my face. Call me and tell me you're practicing. And I said, I could do that. And then I did that. And I called him. And he introduced me to service, which was the big difference for me. Like, he called me up and he said, hey, what are you doing? And I said, nothing. I got appointments all day. I'm doing nothing. I'm homeless. I'm helpless. What am I doing? Nothing. So he was like, I'm going to pick you up and we're going to go to this meeting. And it was all about service. And I was like, I never knew about the back door. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So he got me involved, and he would bring me to these service commitments. And all of a sudden, I'm like 30 days clean, and I'm at a public information meeting,
Oh, wow.
learning that they go into schools and they go into, learning that, how it works, and hearing people talk about traditions. What is traditions? I didn't even know what that was, and it really, I surrounded myself with that environment, those types of people. And before I knew it, like when I had 90 days, they were giving me a secretary's break, and they were giving me coffee commitments. And all of a sudden I was like in it, instead of around it.
Ooh, I like that. You were in it instead of around it. Yeah.
Or in it instead of at it. Are you in a meeting or you at a meeting? Because I could be at a lot of meetings, but am I in the meeting?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was in these meetings and I was learning about the back door, you know, and my first year, before the first year was over, back then, they would bring you to service commitments. You know, I don't know how, you know,
Yeah.
I went mainly to NA. And they would bring me to service commitments, and they would say, "You're going to do that." They'd tell you, "You're going to do it." They didn't,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and then you would
Right.
do it.
Yeah, sure.
You're
So
voluntold.
yeah, you're voluntold, and you're getting out of yourself, because that was the biggie. You know, like you hit the nail on the head when it comes to the dope and the drinking and everything. Those are all symptoms.
That's
You
the
know,
end result.
That's an outward manifestation of an inward condition. And so often within the rooms, even, we don't focus on the inward condition. We focus on the symptoms.
Right.
Just don't drink today. Keep coming back. It works. What works? Well, we don't know, but just keep coming back. Well, somebody's got to know. Well, somebody knew, and you got to hook up with this guy and to show you what did work. And
Yeah. And it also comes down to this. He says that's what people think it is. That's what our families think it is. Oh, come on, just stop.
just stop.
Can't you just stop? You know, and they don't realize that it isn't that easy. Just say no is the beginning.
Yeah.
But once you say no, you're left with depression, anxiety, learning disabilities, all these things, the overweight or whatever it is, the self-esteem stuff. And when we do the service part of this program, and they brought me to jails and institutions and all this stuff, I build my self-esteem. People ask my opinion. I feel like I'm somebody, you know, and that's what the service did for me.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So when did you start doing, I mean, I'm assuming you started playing recovery gigs, right?
Well, this is what happened, because nothing's easy.
Right.
What happened was, now I came into recovery when I was 40 years old. I was just turned 40.
Well, you don't look a day over 35.
Yeah, and I'm 72 now.
He's reverse aging.
72.
Right, and-
you don't look 72, brother.
Lose that weight, and we were talking about it, Monty. You've done the same thing. Lose that weight and start doing the right thing, and man, all of a sudden, you know.
I know.
But like I was 40 years old, and I had spent half my life being a sales guy, like in retail locations, doing a lot of retail work. And I knew that was in New York City, that was a problem, because most of the people that worked there were actors, and everybody got hammered all day long. That's what they did. And I couldn't go back there, and I started working, and I got myself into the business world, and I got very fortunate. I bumped into a guy who, I went to a meeting. This guy was sharing about going on vacation and doing all these things, and I'd never done none of that stuff. I said, "How you do that?" He goes, "Hang with me." So he started teaching me things, teaching me how to do the interview right, how to go come early, stay late at the job, ask for, directions at work, and I started getting promoted at these dumb jobs I was on. And all of a sudden I got a very good job, and then I got a real good job. And I started traveling all over the country. I was working for a major corporation, launching products throughout the country. I have high school education. I have learning disabilities. I have like I said, all these things that were against me. I had felony convictions, which they overlooked because I was good at what I did. And now all of a sudden I'm sitting in rooms with all these people, CEOs and everything. But now what's happening to me is, in this course of time, I started playing again, right? Like I started hooking up with people. And everywhere I went, I would go sit in with people. So if I was in Chicago, I'd go sit in with some people. I'd know people, and I'd go there. If I was in Baltimore, I'd sit in with people. And all of a sudden, I was playing a lot. And so when I came home, I listened to this guy who was Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins. And he made a suggestion. He said, "Do one thing you've been putting off." And I walked into this church to go to a meeting, and I saw voice lessons. I said, I'm gonna take these lessons. So I started taking lessons, and that's when it started. And that was like 5 years into recovery. because I couldn't play out like I could go to places and play with people, but I couldn't do a thing. I was afraid to, you know.
Okay.
And people told me I couldn't. You know, they said you can't do that. It's very risky, and they were right at that time. But then I started playing with people, and all of a sudden, I started a band. All of a sudden, I was recorded. All of a sudden, I could do that. I was back to I could do that. You know, and then I worked until 2008, and they had the big crash, and then I decided to take 6 months off to sing. It's the longest 6 months of my life. I've been singing. I've been full time ever since. I was 55 years old. I left work, the job that I created that was making me a great living, to go after my passion, because I just couldn't. I didn't enjoy doing that anymore. You know, and I wanted to do what I was meant to do. I think God gives us all a gift.
Sure.
I think that you're born with a gift of some, you know, I think everybody is somebody and we all have something to give. And I think that gift that I have that was given to me, that I was kind of not honoring God by not using it enough.
Yeah.
So I wanted to use it. And now I not only use it, I share it.
Yeah.
You know, I share it with others and teach others how to do that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And you do it well. You do it very, 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 very well. So we're gonna play this first song, and it's called Buddha Boogie. Tell the listeners about this, a little bit about what this song is talking about.
You know, what's funny about this is I think when we met, I was just hooked up. I was with my piano player when we met, Scott Staten, and me and him did a CD together, the CD which this is on, and he played this boogie woogie feel thing for me, and I said, well, and then all I kept on hearing in my head was the 12 steps, you know, and the lyrics are all written. You know, first you must surrender to the beat, have some hope and get up on your feet, move your feet in the right direction and get some, you know, that it's all about the steps.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And I wrote that out like really quickly, and I gave it to him, and he's like, what's this for? You know, and I showed him, and he was like, that's cool. So that it's all about the steps. It's a 12-step song, the Buddha Boogie.
The Buddha Boogie. Okay, don't forget, first and third email take12radio, that's TAKE, the number 12, radio, at Comcast.net, and simply say, I want Tommy's music. And you're going to get Walking Through the Big Book DVD, Basic Prayer and Simple Meditation book by Mike D. And Tommy's going to send you some of his music as well. So here is Tommy Buddha Dudley, the Blues Buddha, and Buddha Boogie. Check it out.
Come on, 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 come on. come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, do the Buddha Boogie. Do that Buddha Boogie. Do the Buddha Boogie. Do that Buddha Boogie.
Tommy Buddha Dudley. Blues Buddha with Buddha Boogie.
I haven't done that in a long time either. I got to do that again.
I just love it. If you were the first or third email at Take12Radio Comcast.net, we're going to send you some music and some other goodies as well. Jack,
Yes,
does that make you want to get your feet moving, man?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Play a little saxophone while you're at it.
Yeah. Good stuff. It doesn't get old. It just doesn't get old. We're gonna move right into the next song because I want to spend some time on the third one here and what this project that you've been involved with Daryl McDaniels from Run DMC and talking about really a very positive move that you guys have done. So we want to make sure we spend some good time on that. So this next song is called "A Good Day to Die." That sounds like a negative, but is it?
No.
No, it's not.
And again, I was at a meeting.
Yeah.
And I hear some of the most profound stuff ever in meetings. And this gentleman came in, and he said, "You know, it's a good day to die." And I said, "What the hell is he talking about?" Because I've heard people say it's a good day to die, and they really meant it. And then he continued. He went into the story about Native Americans, and I didn't know if this was true. At Little Bighorn and Crazy Horse said this right before they went into battle. And I looked it up, and there is some stories to that effect, but they don't really know who said it when I looked it up anyway. But I said, what a concept, if that's true, to be standing on the hill, ready to go into battle and saying, no matter what happens, it's a good day to die. Let's just go in and do what we got to do. Huh. And that I relate to my recovery because I've been down so low, it looks like up to me type stuff, and I've been through so many different adversities in my life that I face things that way in recovery. It's a good day to die. I'm just going to go. I'm going to do what I got to do because nothing can beat me if I stay true to that. And that's what this is about.
Yeah, it makes me think of when I was out there and really convinced that I was probably going to die. It wasn't going to be a good day to die. I was probably going to die in my active addiction. Mm-hmm. I was sold on that. I was convinced of it. You too, Jack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Too many times.
And it'd be a horrible way to go out. A horrible way to go out. And I would hear, because I too was using and going to meetings, right? And I'd hear people say when somebody passed away, he died clean. He died sober. He died a winner. And I thought, gosh, I wish I could say that someday, but I probably won't be able to.
Right.
And now I can say that, So that one of the reasons I love this song. So here's our good buddy Tommy Dudley with A Good Day to Die. Member, send an email, take12radio@comcast.net. Say, I want my Tommy's music, and make sure you put your contact information in there so we know where to send it. Here is A Good Day to Die.
We all get a turn, there's no reason why. I had my fun, no one gets out alive, and it's a good day to die. It's a good day to die. Look at the past, right in the eye. I have no regrets, and I don't ask why. It's a good day to die. You I walk this earth, I have my pride. If God wants me, I know I'm alright. And it's a good day to die. It's a good day to die. Done my time, paid my dues, live my life, singing the blues, and it's a good day to die. You know it's a good day to die. And it's a good day to die. It's a good day to die. And it's a good day to die. You know it's a good day to die. That's right. I won't play with it, baby. I hear the whistle. Bring it on. I see the train coming. I see the light ahead. You know it's a good day. It's a good day to die, baby. It's a great day. I hear the whistle blowing. I see the train coming. I see the light ahead.
Love that song.
All right. Tommy Dudley, the Blues Buddha. Listen, the website that you can visit to find out more about Tommy is tomdudleybluesbuddha.com. And you can read more about him. You can check out some music and so forth and so on. But you want to win some. And so when we play this next song, it'll be the last chance to win. First and third email at take12radio@comcast.net. So, Tommy, you are involved with a movement. You've been involved with road recovery, right? Okay. Now, explain a little bit to the listeners what that program is about before we listen to this song, and how. Just go with that for a minute. Road recovery.
Yeah, road recovery. Well, I've been with road recovery since about 2006. There was a comedian in the rooms in the Bronx. His name was Mikey D. Mikey D passed away. He used to play at all the conventions and stuff. He was a funny guy.
Yeah.
He was on Last Comic Standing. He introduced me to this group, and I went to an event in the city at a place called the Living Room. And when I went there, I heard this band of young kids playing, and they were all in recovery, and they were all like 16, 17, whatever. And I was like, this is exciting. I want to be part of this. So I stalked them for a while because I wanted to be part of it. And at that time I was still working, and I would do it part-time. But what we do, and it's about building self-esteem. It's about teaching kids how to communicate, because we say music, not only music, we do art, we do everything. We do dance, we do plays, all sorts of stuff. But we put on full production shows with these kids.
Yeah.
And what we do is we go to these facilities, and we had a grant, we still do, from the Department of Justice, where we're going to facilities throughout the state of New York. And then we'd go to a facility and say, okay, who dances, who sings, who does this, who does that? And then we would meet with them, and we'd have a meeting saying, okay, tell me what's going on with you. And we would create themes around these meetings, which would say, if a kid says, I'm depressed, I'm bullied, I don't feel good about myself, or whatever it is, you could say you can't say you're depressed or sad, but you could sing about it. Right. So let's write a song about what you're feeling today. And then we'd go off and write songs or create art or whatever it is that they use to express themselves. And the whole thing is we do this for about 10 weeks of rehearsing with these kids coming, and we'd have a meeting with them, like similar to a regular meeting that we have, but it's not a recovery program. It's not a 12-step thing.
Yeah.
It's just about us getting the information. And then we would have a business meeting with them to show you how you put a show together. So the kids would get that skill,
Wow.
the comprehensive life skill of how we do this, as musicians and artists in recovery. Now, everybody that I work with is in recovery, right? All the artists that go there, they're in recovery. And not all of them from drugs. Some are just depression, anxiety, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So then once we get all this 10 weeks of rehearsals, we put on a full production show. And they can invite their families, their friends, the kids that are in the clubhouses or at the schools that we go to. And at the end, they get to perform it. And the miracles that happen in those rooms are, to me, always amazing, because a lot of these kids are not the talented kids. They're not the kids that you see in the school play. They're not the kids. Some of these kids are at risk. They're in trouble. And they don't have the confidence. But as I watch every time we go there, them build the confidence, build the self-esteem, I remind myself of that kid that was standing on a stage like this when I was 14 or 15. And then I see them walk through it, get through it, and I see them build that power within, or on the power that we all have. We all have it.
Yeah.
Right? And then they give it to me, and they give it to us. And it's amazing to see the transformation of some kids. I have a great story about it. When the first time I ever did it for them, we were doing a show, and we were like 8 weeks in, and I was working with this girl that her boyfriend had killed himself.
Oh.
But she couldn't sing the song, so we had to get somebody else to sing it. I'm trying to tell this quick because I figured we don't have a lot of time. But this girl came and said, I'll sing it. She rehearsed with us for 7 weeks. Then she didn't show up. And then another girl walked in. We had 2 weeks to get her together. She came in, she was sweating. She didn't, I don't know if I can do this. And then by the third week, she owned that show.
Wow.
And she went out and performed it. And you know what? She made me realize, that was the first time I ever did this. She made me realize that I could do this, that I could teach people, that I could help people this way. And so not only did I help her, she helped me, and that's what road recovery has done for me. And that's what it does for these kids. So it's very powerful.
Is this work, have you found that this work is interrupting the destructive nature of what could turn into somebody being an active addict? Is it disrupting that, catching it before it gets there a lot of times?
100%.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of kids. They have all those kids that I met in the band.
Yeah.
One's a doctor. One's working, like all these kids went to school and they did other things besides hanging on the corner.
Yeah.
I've watched other kids evolve, and I've been doing this with them since 2007. So I've been with them a long time, on and off. Sometimes I was there. We actually work with at-risk youth too, kids that have already gotten in trouble. We worked at Sing Sing prison for 7 years. I ran a program there for 7 years.
Wow.
And so a lot of the kids, the guys, they were adults, but most of them got arrested as kids.
Yeah.
These guys have left prison and not gone back. So we've created a lot of change, and I'm very proud of the work that Road Recovery that I've done with them and that they do with the kids. And right now, the way things are, and it's one of the things that's really been sad, is because like a lot of things going on with grants and stuff, we were almost canceled because of what's going on. Thankfully, we weren't. But we're hoping now we're out there looking for new grant opportunities for people that want us. We have to go private, probably more than government grants, because they're just they've always been shaky. Government grants.
Sure. Yeah, you bet. Well, that's great news. Now, let's talk about this project, I Am Love, which features Daryl McDaniels, DMC, right? Run DMC. Mm-hmm. Which those guys go back a ways, don't they?
Yeah. Let me tell you something about Daryl McDaniels. Daryl McDaniels has to be one of the finest human beings on the planet.
Wow.
You put him in a room with a bunch of kids, and he loves them up. He's just a kind, gentle guy. He's just amazing. And he actually wrote a book because he found out that he was adopted. And he started an organization called the Felix Foundation, and they have a thing called Camp Felix. And Daryl McDaniels is on our board, but he also has this Felix Foundation, which I go to every year for a week, and we do work with their kids, and we put on a show there. But last year we got canceled, but we still had the grant from another, the Shinemaker Foundation. And then they let us use the grant to record this song. It's called I Am Love. When I was at the facility, I'm the creative director when we do these shows. So when we were at the Camp Felix, when we went there, they had affirmations on the wall. I am love. I am this. I am that. You know, so I wrote them all down, and I said, we're going to write a song about it. Wow. When we got to the studio, we did it in a blues fashion, a call and response. So the kids would say it, and I would repeat it in the song. And then Daryl wrote a rap. He came down to the studio and wrote a rap right there. Huh. And then some kid came and wrote. We did that all in one day.
Wow. One day. Man.
This was done in one day. Now, of course, you know, the mixing and all this stuff took whatever. But the recordings that were done that you're listening to, we were there only one day with the kids.
We're going to listen to this. And I also want to let the listeners know that they can view the video on YouTube. All you got to do is type in I Am Love. You'll find it. It's really easy to find. It'll be linked up here at Take 12 Recovery Radio also. So we're going to play this. If you can imagine, if you're listening on audio and not, or well, we're not doing the YouTube version here. We're doing the audio version. But if you can imagine all these kids that would otherwise may not make it, right? Are learning to find their authentic self. They're learning to find the giftings, like you talked about earlier in the show. You know that God's given us all talents, and we just need to find out what that is, and that's what they're discovering, and they're turning into these amazing adults. And so I just, first of all, I just want to congratulate you, buddy, on the work you're doing with these guys, and what an amazing opportunity for you and for us to hear this as well. So here is I Am Love.
We always got to remember who we are, not what people say we are. We're better than that. We're strong. And we believe. I am worthy. I am confident. I am confident. I believe. I can make it. I can make it. I am strong. I am strong. I am capable. I am capable. I am enough. I am enough. I am love.
Gotta always believe in yourself.
I see words on the wall, I'ma live it. It don't mean nothing till you did it. I'm seeing clearly now, it's vivid. I get angry, I'm vivid. I can believe in you, even to see it through. I cannot see it when I look at you. I cannot see it through. I need love from you and you. Said I love myself. I'm trying to build all the world. Take all the books on the shelf. I cannot be for myself. I'm trying to be myself. I don't want to be nobody else. Look, I'm like one of a kind. You cannot be like me in my time. Feeling like green light lines. You can be who you want to be. You don't gotta be like me. You can just be like you. You don't even gotta be like the few others that be on the other stuff. Even if you playing rough, you still don't even gotta be tough. So you could be tough. I'm worthy. That means I'm enough. I'm in love. That means I'm too strong for you. I'm capable. I believe I can make it.
I can make it. I am strong. I am strong. I am capable. I am capable. I am enough.
earth is blessed. I told them that it was love. We came here to demonstrate. Make no mistake, we all are great. No matter what we are going through, this is the song to listen to. I said it loud, I know you heard me. Turn me up, I know I'm worthy. I came down from the sky above to show the whole world that I am loved.
I am love. Tom Buddha Dudley, congratulations on that. So here's my question. When these kids see the final product, I can't imagine what the look on their faces are like. I mean, right? I mean, how do they respond to this?
Well, I haven't really seen them since that. I'll probably see some of them in the summer because this is a place that we go once a year. Some of the, like the kid that did the rap in the middle, I know him for a long time, and he's been coming to a couple of years. I've met with him, and but you know what it is? It's a transformation of watching them do it, because some of these kids come in here and they're like, I don't want to do nothing, and then all of a sudden that girl at the end, she says, I want to record. And by the end she wanted to go in the booth, and we let her in the booth, and she did what she did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just the excitement of watching that transformation when I work with them.
Yeah.
And then if we get them in a show like we normally do, you see like the excitement and they're all in it. And it's theirs. It's their words. It's their life. You know, it's not something that I'm going to go in and sing for them.
Yeah. This just now, I just reflected back. I started the first Teen Challenge Men's Choir years ago. The Adult Teen Challenge program was a faith-based residential rehab program up here in Oregon. And I remember the guys would come in, and these were all 18 and above, and they come in with attitudes, and most of them were there because of, mom or dad or the judge, right? So they're in there and they got an attitude. And as soon as you hit them, they're in there a week. You're going, okay, you're going to be singing in the men's choir. No, I'm not. There is no way in heaven or hell that I am doing that. I'm not doing that. Nope, not doing that. And those were the guys that had the incredible voices. They didn't even know it. They were like incredible, Yeah. And so I haven't thought of that for years, but you're right. It's amazing that defiance, what a protective mechanism that is. And once you drop that, the person that shows up will blow your mind.
blow your mind.
Yeah. What do you say? What are you thinking, Jack?
I have a question about the song Good Day to Die. Who was the slide guitarist on there? Because I'm hearing Bonnie Raitt, Dwayne Allman, Derek Trucks, and a few others. Like, oh my goodness. I was just in heaven over here because music, to me, you can take all the words out of music, let the music be.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting project. That was done. I don't remember who he used. It might have been him. Paul Opalak is his name, and Paul Opalak he's actually a genius recording guy that I work with.
Wow.
And he's left-handed and he plays everything.
Wow. But thank you. That's a wonderful share, man. I appreciate it more than you know.
Yeah,
he was over here just in heaven.
Monster.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a monster, and he has a Long Hill Recording Studios in Shelton, Connecticut. And if you do go to any of my videos, he's the guy who I collaborated with him. We were putting out a single a year for a bunch of years, and we would do a video too.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he plays everything. He sits there and he just turns and grabs a guitar, then he plays the drum, then he plays the piano. It's crazy. He's so good.
People like that blow my mind. TomDudleyBluesBuddha.com is the website for Tommy. RoadRecovery.org is the website for Road Recovery. Look up I Am Love and watch the video. Simply listening to the audio doesn't do it justice. So I really encourage you to listeners to go over to the video and watch it and download it as well. By the way, I totally forgot to mention this. Hey, Jack, did you know that today is Take Your Parents to the Playground Day? What do you think about that, Tom? Take your parents to the playground day.
That would be. See, I need a kid now.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Got to borrow somebody's kid. Go ahead and say, can I come?
Oh, my goodness sakes. All right. Tommy, thank you so much for spending time with us on the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. Once again, we absolutely cannot wait this long to have you back on, right?
Yes. Thank you.
We got to get you back on again here soon.
I'd love to be on there again. If you go to Road Recovery to the video, subscribe to them, and then put a comment that you heard it here. You know, that'd be nice.
That's important. That would really
subscribe to Road Recovery, because we have another song up there. We have a couple of songs that we did like that.
Yeah.
No.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations, man. Thank you so much for your service to others.
More to come, man. More to come.
Yeah, we've got to drop this rock that we're all carrying towards each other, and I'm not talking about a snowflakey, everything's fine kind of. That's we know things aren't fine. We know things are messed up, right? But it's like people that say, "Well, I stopped going to that thing," or "I don't go to that." I don't like church because of this, or I don't like 12-step meetings because of that. And I go, "Well, what are you bringing to change it?" Maybe you're supposed to bring something to help improve it and help change it.
Yep.
I tell everybody that I work with, every day we get up, we change the world. The difference is how.
Oh, how? You're going to be effective.
Every day you put your foot on the ground.
Yeah.
You just changed the world while you woke up.
Yeah.
Now what are you going to do?
Now what are you going to do?
Share those gifts, brother. Share those gifts.
Share the gifts. That's what God gave me, a voice to sing and to share. And that's what I do. And I've never been happier doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much, buddy. First and third email. If you haven't done it, do it now. Take 12 Radio, Comcast.net. What, Jack?
You won't let me.
I won't let him. First and third email. Say, I want my music from Tommy, or I want Tommy's music. Make sure you send us your address, your email address, all the contact information, so we can get this stuff to you one way or another. Thank you so much, brother. I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Hang on. Don't hang up. Thank you, Jack, for being there with me, of course. And until our next broadcast, this is the Monty Man along with the rest of the Take 12 Recovery Radio family. And we are wishing God's perfect serenity for each and every one of you.
Don't let the weights of the past keep you down. There's a melody here to turn it around. In each story and song you'll find a friend, a chorus of courage that'll never end.
This has been a broadcast of Take 12 Recovery Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
This has been a Chicken and a Pig production.